Hey everyone, welcome back. Chapter 5, Ninja Gaiden 2, Master Ninja Difficulty. Okay, this chapter is not too terribly difficult. It is shorter than the other ones. The beginning of the fight, you'll have archers and mages. Um, One thing you want to do is don't fall in the water because the archers will start shooting you. So, say, I tried not to, but yeah, well, they seem like they're like really aggressive here. So, I mean, I don't know the deal with that, you know. And if they do fall in the water, if any enemy falls in the water, then you don't get the kill credit for it, and you don't get the yellow essence. So. You'll see me demonstrate that whenever I'm fighting the Golden Evangels on through the chapter. But, you know, it's not too difficult. And for some reason, that Inferno did not hit that guy. I don't know why. Like, I was having problems with my UTs killing enemies. On this chapter, and I was thinking, I was like, well, you know, is it glitching out on me, you know? So I didn't know, but everything worked out smoothly. I picked up, I think I picked up an herb there. I was pretty good on items, so. Now we have new enemies. They're the Lycans or werewolves, whatever you want to call them. These guys are dumber than a box of rocks because they will allow you to charge up ETs and UTs. But, you know, still be very cautious though, because, you know, they will still attack you, but not as often as you might think. Like, they're less aggressive than most of the enemies in the game. And chapter 5 and 6 is like a money pit for killing these guys, because they're in this chapter and they're in chapter 6. I mean, you can rack up a lot of yellow essence. Now, one of their attacks is if you're like far enough away from them, you'll start throwing body parts at them. So, and they hit really hard too. So you want to try to close in the distance with them, but you know, you don't want to get like in a group, middle of a group or anything. Kind of like where I'm standing at now. But as you can see, you know, I'll just collect my essence, my UTs, and then I'll just charge. And you know, UT, and for the most part, they won't attack you back. Now you can, if you want, you can take and use the yellow essence to charge up an ET or UT, but I don't do that for the most part with these guys, because they'll allow you to have enough time to charge one up, and that way you get more yellow essence where you can buy more items. Now you can get lucky and kill every one of them. You just catch them through the doorway, and you can get lucky and kill them all. Now I use the dual katanas on these guys because it seems like it has a higher kill rate. I was just kind of looking around. I couldn't remember if there was anything in there or not. I think there is like a crystal skull, if you don't have it, on one of the tables. Yeah, but all you have to do is charge your UTs up on these guys. I would recommend it. That way you get more money, because you'll get a ton of it. Now, if you go back, then I think it despawns some of them. So, like I said, these guys are easy. So if you want You know, try not to despawn any fights or anything like that. But see, the dual katanas is just, they're really good for these guys. I think their pounce will, I don't know if it'll kill you in one hit, but I think that it really drains your health. I think I've got one more left. Okay, now this chest, I think it can either contain yellow essence or ghost fish. And unlike in the previous chapters, for some reason, these ghost fish will not allow you to charge up an ET or UT on them. So just get prepared, you know, to start attacking. You have 2 ice ninjas in this chapter. I'm pretty sure that's the only 2 in this chapter. I can't remember, but you know, same thing. You know, take them out. Guillotine throw, whatever move that D-Limb's on. And that guy gives you a talisman of rebirth. That's why I told you to use it in chapter 4 after the test of valor. Because, you know, he's, that one is not a dynamic thing, so if you don't pick it up and use it, then, you know, it's gone. So, that's why I said go ahead and use the one in chapter 4. I don't do the test of valor in this one. It's, you have to fight the red lichens and dogs. The dogs are not as aggressive though as like they are like in some of the other chapters, but the red lichens are pretty difficult. And then I get Spirit of the Devils. I am saving that one for chapter 11. I'm trying to save like everything I've got for chapter 11 because I know it's going to be a pain. But basically what that does is it gives you an extra Nimpo slot, but it also restores your Nimpo too. So in other words, if you have full Nimpo, then you'll get 7 uses out of it. But anyways, what I was talking about, like the red lichens, they're sometimes called the alpha versions because their AI is a lot better. So, you know, for the most part, they won't allow you to charge ETs and UTs up. It's just like the other ones, like the brown colored ones. Now we get a new weapon, projectile weapon, spear gun, and it works really good against those red water demons that I had just fought. I like using the lunar on those guys, the 360Y ET or UT. And we have like one of the most pointless enemies in the entire game. These jellyfish. They don't do anything. And they don't give you any points for killing them. They do give you essence, but I mean, it's so small, it's just, you know. But yeah, you just have to just keep spamming the B button, you know, to kill them. Now, this next part, you'll have some more red water demons, and just move slightly until you see them one spawn, and just keep pushing the B button, and let the auto aim do its work. That is the best way to take these guys out. And just be careful because not to move too quickly, because I think there is like 2 or 3 waves of these guys. So but yeah, when you're fighting these on land, the The best way to deal with them is with chaining ETs and UTs up with the lunar staff, 360Y technique. You can also do the zona drop with the lunar staff. It's the jump XXY, and it works wonders. It always connects with them for the most part, and it takes 2 Azuna drops to kill one at full health. See, I know they're all dead now, so now over on the right, I didn't do it. It may have been back there. I may have passed it up, but anyways, there's more of those jellyfish, and they're just, you know, a pointless enemy. But there's a crystal skull back there if you don't have one. You don't have it, but I already had it, so I just went on because, like I said before, they don't give you hardly anything. Now, what I always do with this fight is I open up the door and give the Vangelfs to come in. You got some golden Vangelfs, and you want to be careful because even though they're stuck in the door, they can still get in there where you're at, and they can also pounce on you, so you gotta be careful. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to chain ETs up. I wanted UTs, but I just said I'm not going to be greedy or anything. Yeah, because if you stand in the back, they'll start coming in, and those golden Vangelfs are just bad news. They're hardcore. Now you can use the Falcon's talons and do the forward Y technique to delimb them. It has a pretty good connection rate, but every time I try to do that, like, they kept killing me, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stick with the lunar and be done with it, because it was not connecting for some reason. Like I was saying before, like, I don't know if my game was glitching on me or what, but like, I wasn't killing enemies with UTs and everything, and I'd have to reset. It was probably just me, but, you know, it was aggravating because this chapter is not that hard, and you know, it was giving me some trouble, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to do something. You have to get that key to open the gate up here. Now, whenever you open this gate up, you can go probably in the middle of the bridge and then start running back to that room. This is the best way of dealing with these lock-ins. You just stand over in the corner, wait for them to come in, and try to catch them in the doorway. Like I did, like I thought that I'd messed up, but apparently I'd killed them all. I think there's like 3 waves of them, so just stay where you're at. Yeah, if you can catch them in the doorway, you can just tear them up. And this is just a regular Y technique, you know, no 360 Ys or nothing like that. It's just a... And I missed, and I was like, okay, that's a bunch of BS. Like I was saying before, you know, I don't know what the deal was. My game was glitching out, or if it was just me not doing something right. Okay, now I know there's no more enemies in the vicinity on account of my health restored then, so... But I knew that there was more waves coming. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. You know, I got for the most part, I connected with all of them. I had it was like maybe 2 or 3 left. You see how quick he came in there, and I mean, like I said, they can still attack you, but for the most part, you know, they're kind of dumb. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my dual katanas are at level 3. And at level 4, you get those whenever you get the Blade of the Arch thing, which I think that's what the name's replaced with. You get the Tree Dragon Sword and Blade of the Arch thing. This next part coming up, there'll be 4 dogs. Or dogs, what am I talking about? Lichens, I'm sorry. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm kind of tired. But I think I lucked out and managed to kill 3 of them, so. And I've noticed too, when you're fighting these guys, they seem like they throw body parts a lot more frequently than what they do anywhere else. Yeah, got the ghost fish again, and I knew that I couldn't charge no UT up on them, so I just went ahead and killed them. Got me some health anyways. They can charge your bow and shoot those little targets and move across on the pole there to get Life of the Gods. And I forgot one in chapter 2, so I'm not going to be able to use them all. Because I think you can use 9 of them, and it acts like a Lives of 1,000 Gods. It restores your health and makes your life gauge bigger. I know that I've got some more of those red demons, water demons, coming up. So what you want to do is you want to move over to the wall here, move it to your back, and they should start spawning. Okay, yeah, I see them there, and just let auto aim do its work. Now they do get close, but probably 9 times out of 10 they won't connect with you. There's only one wave of those, and you got more of these pointless jellyfish. And I apologize. I thought I sped this footage up, but apparently I didn't. I was getting kind of bored because I thought that maybe you could kill them all, but they just kept spawning, so I just went ahead and just tried to make my way over without touching any of them. I mean, you may be able to kill them all, I don't know. But I know, back when the game first came out, before I think any updates or anything like that, those things would give you like karma score. Because in chapter, is it chapter 9? I think it is. Well, anyways, there's a point where they just spawn indefinitely. You know, they won't never go away, and people were using this to get like a really high score on the leaderboards. Like people were maxing out their score with that, and then they had patched it. I think they had banned those people too. Yeah, that's like I clearly, you know, grabbed that pole and it still didn't count it for some reason. climb up here and grab onto the rails there that's on that cog, and make your way over to the platform, and you can get another Lives of 1,000 Gods. I think this makes my third one. So I'm definitely hanging on to them as much as I can. Okay, you have more Lycans. You have some of the red ones. See, like, they'll give you enough time to charge. You hear you two up, they'll just sit there and howl at you. I think I've gotten them all, so just save it, and be sure to save it there, because if you don't, the door behind you closes. And the next fight is pretty tough. You've got, I think, 20 of those red water demons. Like I was saying before, the best way to take these guys out is with ETs and UTs, the 360Y. And you can also Azuna drop them. I always do the jump Azuna drop, the X or XY. Yeah, these guys hit hard, like, especially their tail whip move, that will just instantly kill you. It sucks. You got a lot of these guys. And it's kind of a long gauntlet of enemies too before you get to your next save area, so it gets pretty tough in this section. You have these guys, and then you'll have the purple Vangelfs and some more of these guys. It's, it gets pretty tough. What I always try to do is try to get in a group of enemies, like kind of jump into them. I know that sounds stupid, but and at least get an ET, because I feel that ETs are a little better, because with the 360Y ultimate technique, like, he does like the whole spinning motion, but he also goes in the air too, and I feel like that doesn't really take out as many enemies that it possibly could. But you can also press the Y button while you're up in the air with the 360Y ultimate technique, and you'll come down with an Azuna drop. I think that's the last one. Yeah. What makes this area right here tough is just it's really tiny, and you really don't have any places to move around, so it gets really tough. Yeah, I didn't realize that you could actually bring them out like that, so you may be able to do all the fights that way. I'm not sure. But if I could have got away with it, I probably would have despawned these guys. It's just, I know I played this chapter or this one particular part for a long time, and as you can see, the guy just glitched there and didn't move. So I mean, that's got me thinking that there could have been something wrong with the game, and there's another dude does the exact same thing. Like, he's not even coming after me, or So I don't know. And that chest there is a dynamic chest. I think it contains, I'm not sure if it's a grains or an herb. But anyways, if you have them maxed out and have maxed out health, then it'll give you yellow essence for it. Since I had all my items maxed out, it just gave me the health, which I really needed it. I use my regular shurikens to keep me from sticking to walls. See, I think I spawned the fight there. If you go down too far there, then we'll spawn the fight. If you go too far to the right, it'll spawn the other fight. So you want to just take these fights one at a time. So you want to be careful and not activate both of them at the same time. Yeah, that 360 ET just really tears those guys up. And I didn't move up far enough, but I did manage to do the 360Y with the Azuna drop. And I charged an ET because I knew I didn't want to be greedy. Yeah, did you see that, that tail attack there? That would have seriously damaged me hardcore. Okay, that blocked room with the gate contains another Nimpo power. It's the Phoenix, Art of the Phoenix, something like that. Basically, it's like Fire Wheels if you played any of the classic games. Yeah, and I have the hardest time doing on-landing ETs and UTs when I'm on steps. But I did luck out and do this one pretty good. And then you have, I think, at least 2 more waves of enemies as you keep going forward. Yeah, as you can see, this place it's just bad news trying to kill enemies. Like it's. So I think that was it. You have to get the key from up here. I kind of look around just to make sure that there wasn't nothing that I missed. Art of the Flame Phoenix. I'm not too good with like the official name, so I think that chest can contain ghost fish or bats. I'm not sure. Okay, there is where the other Test of Valor is at. That would be the 3rd one, and I didn't bother trying it because this is just the Jewel of the Demon Seal, and you know I'm not going to waste everything I have just to get that one item. Because I mainly use the Wind Blades and the Inferno anyways. I very rarely ever use like anything else as far as like my Nimpo power-ups. Now, what I should have done was I should have dropped down in this fight and then moved backwards. But instead, I decided that I was just going to start attacking stuff from here. And those Vangelfs hit me. If you move back to where I'm at now, then Vangelfs have a harder time hitting you with their projectiles. And you can just let the auto-aim do its thing with the red water demons. And there is a golden Vangelf right above my head. And as you can see, I don't know, I think he just forgot where I'm at. And I thought I could use the spear gun to kill one of them with, but it didn't work out that way. So in this case, you want to either use Incendiary shurikens, and you might be able to use the bow. I'm not sure. But I always deal with them with the incendiary shurikens. And like I was saying before, if an enemy falls in the water, then it's an instant death, and you don't get no kill credit for it, or you don't get no yellow essence. So there is a chest. As soon as you drop down, you can turn around, and I think it's an herb. So I think the other item that I got was a grains, a spiritual life. That chest that I wasn't sure about earlier that gave me the blue essence. Okay, this next part is the final part before you go to the boss, and you'll have ghost fish. So you want to make sure that you've got your spear gun. And there's 3 points that I go to get the chest. This one, I'm thinking has another herb, but you can try to get them to where they won't. You can try shooting them before the first one gets to you, but for the most part, I always let one of them at least hit me, and then you just keep pushing the B button and let auto aim do its work, and you'll know when they're all dead because the essence that's around you will automatically come into you. So that's when you know that all of them are dead. I forgot to mention this, but you want to make sure that you are full on arrows, because it makes this next boss, manageable, because he is like almost impossible to kill if you are out in the water with him. Yeah. So I think that was an herb, and since I was maxed out on my herbs that didn't have full health, it gave me the blue orbs, or blue essence. Same thing with this chest. Just kill all of the ghost fish and let you collect it. I can't remember what was in this one though, so. And also too, if you still have your Talisman of Rebirth, there is another one in the chest, and it is a dynamic chest, so if you have one, then it will give you 50,000 yellow essence, which helps out a ton, because that is like a level 2 upgrade to a weapon. Or level 3, I mean. Yeah, I'm thinking that was a Devil Way mushroom, and since I already had all mine maxed out, it gave me one. And there is another chest here. It's got the life of the gods. And it's not guarded by anything. Yes, the Talisman of Rebirth is up the steps in the chest there. So if you didn't use it, then you will get 50,000 in yellow essence. And once you come over, well, what I should have done was went backwards. Like, what I attempted to do was I was trying to get back to where I previously was so I could save it. Because I knew if I died as the boss, I didn't want to have to go back, and I couldn't figure out where I was at, so yeah, I should have edited this part out. I don't know. I forgot to, so I apologize. But I think I realized probably right here that I'm like, okay, I can't get back, or if I can, I don't know where it's at, so I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna deal with it. Yeah, and see, I forgot about restocking my arrows too in this boss. Luckily, I still had 28. Otherwise, I would have been doing this chapter over again. Now you open that chest and it gives you the skull key, and this is when the boss spawns. Now, what you want to do here is just charge up ETs and UTs. Okay, great. My headset's beeping because the battery's going dead. Well, luckily this is the end of it. So, if something happens and I get cut off, you know, I apologize for that. I do thank everyone for watching the video, but what you want to do is you just want to charge UTs up with the arrow and hit the guy in the head. Whenever he starts doing his yell or whatever, that means he's getting ready to throw water, like a jet of water at you, like that. And you can dash out of the way. It's just kind of the timing on it. And for most of his other attacks, I just try my best if I've got Nimpo to use that. But all in all, this boss is not very hard. Just make sure that you've got some arrows. But this chapter is not too difficult. And hopefully I can get chapter 6 done here shortly. Hopefully by next week anyways. But I hope everybody enjoy watching these videos. I mean, I love playing the game, and it's probably one of my favorite 360 games out there. So, but I'm gonna cut this commentary short because my headset on the microphone is about to go. So, just want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in chapter 6.